Where in the world would a farm boy go without his boots and without his truck in the middle of a grain farm in the middle of nowhere? Today we're going to talk about the very unusual case of Dylan Rounds. Some of my content has mention of extreme violence, sexual assault, and/or other triggering content. Discretion is advised. Hello, welcome back to Code 187. I am Sarah, and I am your true crime best friend. Today we are talking about Dylan Rounds, and he is missing kind of in the middle of nowhere. Dylan is 19 years old and he lives in Monticello, Nevada. Now, Dylan Rounds is your very typical farm boy. He always has his boots, he always is working. In a lot of pictures, he is dirty, he is a working man. This is Dylan's first year taking care of crops on his and his grandpa's farm. Now, this is his first year doing this by himself, and this is his farm. He takes care of this land. It is a grain farm, and he spends time out in a trailer next to his land so that he can farm this. He was super excited about this. This is kind of a recent thing. He's 19 years old and just got this piece of land in Lucin, Utah, Lucin, and he is super excited to be there and just have that land. This is his whole livelihood. We definitely need people who are passionate about farming just like Dylan, but for some reason he is missing. Now, his trailer and his farm is 60 miles from his family home in Utah, and he technically lives in Lucin, Utah. However, it is right across the border between Nevada and Utah. So let's talk about Dylan's disappearance, and things get very strange and very eerie very quickly. Now, from what we know, May 26, 2022, Dylan ate at a restaurant in Monticello, 28 minutes from his trailer. He also talked to both his mom and his dad on that day. Now, his mom and his dad are divorced and live separately, but they definitely keep in contact with their son. On May 28th, 2022, he talked to his grandma. And while he was on the phone with his grandma, he said, "Oh no, it's starting to rain. I gotta go cover my crops. I will call you back." He never did call his grandmother back. But we do know that Dylan's phone pinged at 3:41 that afternoon within 15 miles of the farm. Now, on May 30th, 2022, people started to notice that Dylan was not around. His grandmother noticed that he basically didn't call her back. So she gets in contact with a man named Don. Now, Don was very recently fired from working with Dylan. Something about how his grandfather employed this man, Don, but also Dylan employed him because they are co-owners of this land. There was some disagreement, and this man, Don, basically got fired, but Grandma contacted him to make sure that Dylan was okay, and to go out and look for Dylan on the property. Don reported back to his grandma that the property looked fine, that Dylan's truck was there and Dylan's truck was locked, but there was no sign of Dylan. Also, a friend named JD was also worried about Dylan and talked to his parents and went out and checked on the property. Could not find Dylan, but found his car locked. So they reported him missing around this date, May 30th. After that, his parents went out to check the land, check for Dylan, and his car was there. It was locked. And Dylan didn't lock his car. There was no reason for Dylan to lock his car because he was in the middle of nowhere. Who was going to get and steal Dylan's truck when there was literally no one around? So this was the first sign that things were going a little weird. When they started searching for Dylan, they found that things were very bizarre around the farm. Hi guys, if you have watched into this much of the video, please consider subscribing, liking, and sharing this video to your friends. Now let's get back to the story. First of all, we have this truck of Dylan's. It was power washed a couple days or days around when Dylan went missing. You can tell that it is power washed. However, the wheel wells on the truck were not power washed and they were caked in mud. Now, when you think of farm, me being from Kansas, I think of a corn field or something like that. This is almost deserty, like a desert, but lots and lots of dirt. And when it rains, that dirt becomes mud. So there was no tire tracks that would allude to the truck being moved, but the truck was power washed and the wheel wells were full of mud. This was just kind of strange. The truck was also in four-wheel drive, which was odd because this truck's four-wheel drive did not work. And Dylan, of course, knew that, and he also talked about it often, that he had this four-wheel drive truck, but it didn't work, so it was kind of useless. Now, I mentioned tracks before. There was very little tracks, and it had been raining. The dirt should have been disturbed. And if you look at these pictures taken around the scene, you can tell when someone is driving around. In the search for Dylan, there were many vehicles, ATVs, trucks everywhere, and you could definitely see their tire tracks. And Dylan's mother said that when it was raining, it was even more muddy and even more prominent to see tracks, but there were none. The gate also to the property was locked, which Dylan never did. A few yards away from Dylan's truck was kind of this mound of dirt or pile of dirt. And right there at the bottom were Dylan's boots. Now, his mother talked about how he loved this one kind of boots, and he would wear them until they wore out, and then he would go and he would get the same boots. So Dylan really only had one pair of shoes, and that were his work boots, and he is now missing without them. It is reported that there was a drop of blood on the boots. However, we don't really know what is coming of that, and there's been some different reports from different people about this spot of blood on the boots. Now, the cops came and they were supposed to take the boots for testing. However, these boots sat in a policeman's car until they could get tested. And time is very valuable in a missing persons case. There are a lot of talk online, a lot of web sleuths, a lot of people, a lot of videos talking about Dylan's case. And I don't know if the police are actively working much of it. They have put out some press releases saying that they are and that the search continues. But his family kind of contradicts that. They say that the first 48 hours are most important, and they didn't seem to take Dylan's missing report very seriously. So let's talk about the barefoot man. Now, this is a theory that comes up a lot in regards to Dylan's case, and this is a very, very strange encounter that Dylan had a couple days before his disappearance. This encounter happened on May 25th, 2022. This was a Wednesday, and Dylan was driving down the road and he saw a man barefoot. This man basically flagged Dylan down and asked to use his phone and then for a ride. Dylan told his mother, "I did not give the man a ride." Come to find out, he did. He probably told his mom he didn't because he didn't want to hear the lecture, but it seems that Dylan did give him a ride into town that Wednesday. This same man was reportedly seen in Monticello, Nevada, a few days later talking and asking about Dylan. There was also this report, now I don't know if it is true, this could just be a rumor, that this man was left off at Dylan's campsite that Saturday, and then he went missing that weekend as well. So people are really having a lot of thoughts about this barefoot man, that maybe he was the culprit and did something. His mother said that she does not believe that the barefoot man had anything to do with it, and that the campsite, I guess, that he was at, his trailer, didn't seem to be disturbed. There wasn't a sign of like a struggle or like obvious foul play. Everything was pretty normal except for the boots and the truck. Some people believe that maybe Dylan ran away. His family says that he had no prior mental illness, no drug use, no substance use, no mental illnesses of any kind, no depression, no suicidal thoughts, nothing. They said he just loved working on his farm, that he wasn't really interested in partying or girls. He wasn't a typical young kid. He just wanted to work this field. That was his passion. They also say there's not really a reason that Dylan would run away. Why now? Why would you run away at the height of you having this farm and you having your dream? The only things missing with Dylan were a wallet, his phone, his truck key, and a possible pistol. This alludes to possible suicide. A lot of people talk about maybe Dylan committed suicide, but why did he take off his boots, and where is he? Because you can't commit suicide and not be found. So where is Dylan? Where is his body, or where is he? And why did he leave his boots and his truck and everything else behind? There has been no cell phone activity or any movement on his credit cards. This was interesting. I saw in an article that there were quote-unquote other men that were missing on the border between Nevada and Utah. So I looked into this, and there was one case of two men that were hunting, and they were in the same county as Dylan. They went missing, but they were later found. I believe that they just got lost, and they did find him. So we can put those rumors to bed that there's a bunch of people or a bunch of young men missing in this area. It just at this point seems to be Dylan. I saw an article that Texas EquiSearch is now searching for Dylan, and that will definitely bring a lot more people in. There is a reward for Dylan's disappearance, so please, if you have any information, please contact someone and let someone know. I will, of course, be keeping you updated on this case, and I will be putting any information of where to report anything that you know below the description of this video. I really want to help try to find Dylan Rounds. This is a bizarre, eerie case, And I have done many others of missing men. If you have not seen my video about the missing men that is happening right now all over, please check that out. There is some similarities. I have seen where men just go missing with no trace, sometimes without any clothes, unlike Dylan, who just had his boots taken off. So if you have not seen that video, please check that out. I will try to link it below and over here somewhere. That is a very interesting case, and it definitely reminds me of Dylan's case. So thank you for watching. I wish you all well, and I really hope that we find Dylan. Dylan, I wish you well. I'll see you guys next time. If you would like updates or any more information about Dylan's case, please go to finddylanrounds.com. Hi guys, I just wanted to say I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like any of the content for Code 187, please click that subscribe button, that like button, that share button. Help us out, help us grow. You can find us on your favorite podcast platforms. Yeah, check us out on there. Give us some ratings. Tell us what you think. We're also across every social media on Code 187. So we're on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I think that's it. And of course YouTube. So please, please, please subscribe if you like our content and spread the word. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.